making an American cream ale. The original gravity comes out to about 1050, so it should be around 5.5% if I do everything right.
You're recording, I heard it.
I'm under pressure. Alright. Trying to think of what I have. Okay, I got the ingredients here. They are 3.3 pounds of light dry malt. Shit.
Light dry malt shit?
Yeah. The ingredients here are 3.3 pounds of light liquid malt extract. Then I have 2 pounds of Pilsen dry malt extract along with 1 pound of dextrose, which I think they call corn sugar in the ingredients. These are going to get added later in the boil just for the color of the beer. I have 2 pounds of Willamette hops. One is for bittering and the other gets added as a aroma hop. Then I have vanilla beans that I'm going to add in later. And when I looked up some reviews, somebody said that they made the beer and it had Nottingham yeast in it, so that's the yeast that's being used. And I'm adding Irish moss, even though it's not in the ingredient sort of directions, but I tend to add that to my beer to clarify it. Alright, I've got about 2 gallons I put in here of water heating up right now, and I'm going to add in the liquid malt extract. So in it goes. You want to make sure you stir this so it doesn't burn to the bottom, because the bottom is going to be hot and a lot of times it'll stick onto the bottom and then it'll burn and get all crusty and nasty, and that could affect the taste of your beer, and you don't want that to happen because beer is supposed to taste good. So you get it all cleaned out, get it all nice, and then put that the rest that in your pot. Yeah. I have nothing against cream ales. I like all kind of beer. Really, there's not really much of any beer I don't like. Even some of the nasty stuff, I'll put it down. Especially if it's free. This is all just dry and liquid malt extract. You just mix it, boil it, add in hops, and pitch the yeast, and you're good to go. Just make sure everything's sanitized too. Especially since I had half the ingredients and I didn't have to put much into it. I also wanted to try out the vanilla bean. I thought that would be a good addition, and I don't see myself ever really trying to buy this again unless it turns out that well. I might really like it. I might want to do it again. You never know. That's why you experiment. Just brew as many different beers as you can. Okay, we're at a boil now. So this is a 55-minute boil, so I'm going to set the timer to 55 minutes. Oop, yeah. And then I'm going to add in the hops. It's going to start to go a little mad. It's going to start to rise up, and want to maintain the temperature and everything, and it smells wonderful. I love hops. I love the bittering parts of the brews that I do. So this is at a 55-minute boil. We're going to boil this for, I think the instructions say 40 minutes. And then we're going to add in the dry malt extract, the dextrose, and I'm going to add in my Irish moss at that point. So yeah, fun stuff. Now you just get to sit here, watch beer boil, and drink beer and smell hops and laugh at the cat, and whatever else I decide to do. I usually listen to music while I do this, but I got a video camera hooked up instead today. Okay, I've just added in my dry malt extract, and now I'm putting in the dextrose. Irish moss is also going in at this moment. I put in 1 teaspoon, and let's see here. Okay. Never poured it into this thing before. 1 teaspoon Irish moss. Alright, next I'm going to have one of my double IPAs that I recently made by Brewer's Best. Very good. Speaking of hops, they're going in next. So 1 ounce of Willamette hops for the aroma. Then we're going to boil it another 10 minutes, and it's going to terminate boil. Can't forget the vanilla bean with it. Anyways, remember what I said, watch that stuff. Woo! Alright. Now, and we're about at 10 minutes now. Yep. So we're going to add in the hops. You don't want it to overboil. And then, my special addition with it that was recommended on the directions, the vanilla bean. They actually smell really good. So those are going to go in as well. 1 ounce of them. Never dealt with these things before. Yeah. Usually I stick it in the sink with cold water, and once that water gets warm, I empty it out and refill it with cold water. And I do that about 3 times, and usually it gets around the right temperature. But since it's really cold out and it's snowing, it was blizzarding earlier, I'm just gonna stick it in the snow. See, it's like 4 degrees. Okay, it's time to terminate the boil.
Ninja. Fart into that one.
Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pour this through these strainers to get everything out of there. Usually I do this by myself, but since I have spare hands, I'm definitely going to use them because help definitely is awesome. This just gets out all the hops that you're boiling and the vanilla bean that was in there. As you see, it's definitely catching everything, so it's going to take a while to sift through.
Pretty good.
So you pretty much stick it in the snow and stir it up and let it sit out there till it's a lot cooler, and then you can top it off with regular water. I have a temperature strip on the side of my fermenter, and it says that it's at 73 degrees right now. That's going to be good. When I top it off with the rest of the water, it should bring it down even more and even it out. And so I will pour that in there now, and I'll pour it from way up high, so as it pours in, it really puts a lot of oxygen into the wort here. I'm using water out of jugs here. I'm opening them up. It's fresh water. It's clean. Now it's time for pitching the yeast. I have sanitized scissors, and I'm going to open up the yeast and spread it across this. Try and make it as even as possible so it doesn't clump. Jesus can turn water into beer.